LRPs. Some of the best yet. Some of the best yet. They bite like that, like that, like that. Big bass, double digits.
Kick up the fire right on top.
Low fall, blast off, time to get some cast off. Doing this here for years, get my pass on. Stream mask on, putting in work. Snap back, got me focused, never settle on a shirt. I miss.
What's up, everyone? Oliver Ngy here with Big Bass Streams. Hoping everybody's had an incredible start to this 2018 year. First and foremost, I just want to thank you all for being so engaged on this platform. And although we don't have a huge viewership, I feel like we have the best viewership. This channel is a perfect example of quality over quantity. We're gonna do our best to continue to bring you daily vids with the utmost quality in mind. And if we can entertain you guys at the same time, even better. We're expecting to see a lot of big and awesome things from all of you guys. In return, we're excited to bring you the exact same. We're gonna hit it with a little bit more insight and perspective for you that will hopefully help you realize your own dreams. As we discussed previously, I've been fishing this brand new lake to me for about 15 minutes. And this is where I see the first solid fish come up on the Hinkle trout. Something in the range of 10 to 12 pounds. That fish showing itself cued me into the fact that I was in the right area. Locating these big fish is the first piece of the puzzle. What I didn't know at this time was that she wasn't alone. And after this cast, she didn't show herself again. I read her body language. She wasn't going to make a play on the big hard glide bait. So this is when I decide to change tactics a little bit. I mean, those fish are kind of in an inactive mode. A soft bait, low and slow, doused in scent. High on my confidence list. These are the kind of adjustments that we have to make as fishermen, and we have to learn to trust our gut. But these gut feelings, they should be stemming from experience, because experience is always the best teacher. The scent I'm using here is Bass Dynasty before it even had a name. It was still in the prototype testing phases, whatever you want to call it. The bait, of course, is a 9.5-inch Batesmith Magnum. So this approach I'm using really goes back to my experience as a shore angler for most of my young life. Fishing uphill, maintaining bottom contact with the bait, the little deflections that it's creating as it's bumping through the rocks, some of the sparse wood, all of that is super high percentage. If I can feel that tactile response from my bait as it's coming through the cover, it just kind of keeps me focused and in the zone. Oh, right there.
10 minutes in it, little right here, baby. That's how we do it. Big Bass Stream. Oh, dude, this is a freaking giant.
Spaz out time.
Oh my god.
Come on, get in the net.
Oh. Oh. You will not believe how big this fish is. Oh my god. I got an absolute giant. You guys ready for this? Oh, look at this thing. That's a teener. That is a teener. Oh my God. Oh my God. This fish is a freaking beast.
She absolutely smoked that almost 10-inch bait.
Oh my God.
So here's a revelation I had the second I grabbed her by the lower lip. She had a giant tear on her bottom gill. And it was at that moment that I instantly realized that this was the same fish I had just seen a picture of. 5 days prior, one of the locals named Alex Niapis had caught a 17-pound, 12-ounce fish off of a bed. Little did I know that this was the exact same fish. And what are the odds of that? You know, I'd drive up 8 hours to a lake I'd never been to. Hadn't talked to anybody before. This is one of the bigger reservoirs in all of California. And I caught the exact same fish that I had just seen a picture of. And on cue, the live well turns off.
Oh my God. 17.40. I just caught my 17-pounder.
I really hope all of you guys get to experience that feeling that I had at that very moment. I'm trying to call my boys that are up around the corner over there.
Oh, yes!
But there's no reception. Can't get a signal. Here's one of the things that I've learned at this point in my fishing career is to not get caught up in the moment and continue to fish. Because this was not the same fish that had showed herself on the Hinkle trout. So I knew there was still that other really big fish out there. Any of you guys that have ever tried using a GoPro or film your fishing adventures understands the struggle of managing cameras and your content and the basics of just having the cameras rolling is a struggle at times. That was literally the very first cast I ever made with that brand new bait.
Look what that 17-pounder did to my hook. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
The crazy thing is I had pinned her on that stock jig hook and two of the owner ST58 treble points. So if I hadn't been using that trailer, I probably would have bent that jig hook out on that fish. So it's just one of those scenarios where, you know, it just kind of worked out in my favor for once. Now there are better options out there as far as setups. But, you know, I'm trying to compose myself, check on the fish, and really get myself ready to try to catch that other fish. Because of the 6 or 7 times I've had really big bags over 40 pounds, I've caught them in a really short time window. And staying focused and on top of that bite while they're active is key. So I don't really have time to celebrate the fact that I just caught the biggest bass I've ever seen with my own eyes here. I'm too focused on getting a bait back in the water, but making sure everything is in tip-top shape, right? I check my hook, check the trailer, Knot's good. Reapply the scent. And boom, I'm back out in the zone.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
And that's something that I try to really emphasize with friends, clients on Big Bass Streams training sessions, is to try to bottle up that excess energy and emotion until that fish is in the boat. And then it's okay to release it at that point. So I'm letting the bait sink down. Still no signal. Trying to get a hold of the guys. We had just got to the lake. They're about a quarter mile away from me. Up around that main lake point there. One of the locals had put me in touch with Alex. And I just wanted to talk to him about the fish because I thought it was incredible that we both caught the same giant fish. So I gave him a ring. Super nice guy. He gave me the breakdown, told me he actually caught it in the cove that I ended up slipping into to avoid spooking my spot, and he released her in that same cove. So she probably swam out to this main lake point to recover here. Now when you're targeting these big fish, it's inevitable that you're gonna get hung up. It's just part of the game. But instead of trying to rush over to free your bait right away, I always try to take my time, always try to keep as low profile and be as unobtrusive as possible, obviously. But I know that other fish is still there. Once again, going back to Alex, it's just a testament of how well catch and release works. It's an amazing thing that we can catch these fish, experience that moment, and let her go. And the possibility of somebody else experiencing that is very real. Mike Gilbert's fish was caught after being released. Multiple giant fish have been well documented to have been caught again and again and again in some cases, like Dottie. And people are gonna say what they want, right? Blah blah blah. Oh yeah, this is a stupid communal fish. And well, if she's that dumb, why didn't you go up there and do it yourself? It's kind of mind-blowing that people will find any reason to throw salt or negative vibes towards one another in this fishing realm, man. It's kind of sad, honestly. I don't see this kind of dynamic in anything else that I've been involved with. Now, you guys might have noticed the title of this: Biggest Bass Ever Caught on Video. Now, I can say that with 100% confidence. Mike Gilbert has a fish cast to catch on video the exact same weight. I have not personally seen another video with a bigger documented catch. And when I say documented, I mean on a scale. Okay, let's just be real here. Fishermen tend to be susceptible to a little fibbing. This is as real as it gets. With that being said, there's no need to read any negativity or drama into that last statement. Real recognized real, and those of you guys that have been around enough big fish know what a big fish looks like, know what kind of frame a certain pound class fish should have, and know flat out when someone's holding up a 7-pounder that it's not a 10. When they're holding up an 11, a 13-pounder, it's not 15. So here's a lesson for you guys coming up in the game. Don't lie. It's always going to catch up to you. This is a moment of truth. I'm hung up pretty well, and usually when I know there's a giant fish on a spot and I feel like I can catch her, I'll just break the bait off, or I'll just kind of leave it be and fire another bait. But I did just catch the biggest fish of my life on it, so I'm still pumped, obviously. Ultimately, I made the decision to go up and get it free.
god, there are giants on this freaking lake.
Right there at that moment, I spooked off another giant fish that was bigger than the first one I saw, but not as big as the one I have in the live well. So there were at least 3 giants living on this one point. And it's a behavior I've seen on multiple lakes. Lake Casitas used to have some of the gnarliest wolf packs of fish I've ever seen. They wolf packed at Pudding Stone even, and a lot of other places, Lake Paris, Diamond Valley. That's just kind of typical giant bass behavior when they're feeding on some of these trout and kokanee. At this point, I've come to the conclusion that I've blown the spot out. I go find Scott and Whitney, show them the fish. I wish I had the cameras rolling to capture their reaction for you guys. Here's the released video. And that giant hole in her gill was already there. And it's part of the reason why I feel so strongly about using the weigh bag method when weighing these bigger fish. It's just so much better for the fish and so much easier for us handling them. And at this point, she'd been in the live well for probably about half an hour maybe. So between the stress and such, she had originally weighed 17.40 pounds, but had dropped a little bit of weight down to 17.30. But guess what? I don't care. I'm good with it. And as you see here, man, I just wanted to get her off while she still had a lot of strength. Watching her swim away like that was more rewarding than I can describe. I'm hoping she's still out there. I'm hoping that somebody else stumbles on her and catches her, man. That's the beauty of this. Once again, guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys sitting down and reliving this experience with us. It's been 5 years to this date, March 29th, 2013. And hopefully this motivates you guys to continue chasing your dreams, chasing your goals. What this fish represents to us is a culmination of 20 years of non-stop learning. It represents the struggle, and there's beauty in the struggle. Good luck and have fun. Keep up those positive vibes. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. There's 200 plus videos up already for your viewing pleasure. Peace!
LRPs. Some of the best yet. Some of the best yet. They bite like that, like that, like that. Big bass, double digits.
Pick up the fire right on top.
Low fog, blast off, time to get some cast off. Doing this here for years, get my pass on. Stream mask on, putting in work. Snap back, got me focused, never settle on a shirt. I missed one and hit one, man, that's getting some. 2, 3, 4, 5 more, come on, that's ripping up. The way the bass sticking, the way my